The idea of an electric rally car hot hatch seems silly to some of you, I'm sure. To me, it sounds pretty awesome. So this is a vehicle I've been waiting to drive for some time. This is the 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5 XRT. And we're gonna give it a go on the dirt. What I'm talking about. You get an inch more of ground clearance. Most of it's suspension, some of that is tire. This does have all terrains on 18-inch wheels. It's got different suspension tuning, and it's got terrain mode, and this is the only Ioniq 5 that comes with terrain mode, which is a button here on the steering wheel. You got mud, snow, and sand. I have it in sand because that gives you the most slip, and I'm also on sand, especially right here, where you just gotta wait for the tire to bite, and then there he goes. Then you can grab it and go. Set up for this next corner. I mean, this car is a riot. Range is about 260 miles on this thing, maybe 250 something, which is fine. It's an 800 volt car, so you can charge it up quickly. Style-wise, there's some good and some not so good. I don't love all this textured camo, but I do love these recovery hooks being so prominent. And they did do a little bit better angling on the front and rear bumpers for improved approach and departure, even though it's not Jeep Wrangler level stuff. The wheel design here is pretty awesome, but one thing I think they could improve on is they could better protect this valve stem for people who are actually gonna take this off-road. You don't want that getting clipped, and automakers are taking notice of that and doing a better job of that with their wheels. But that said, this is a pretty good looking wheel here. Hyundai set up a little course out here with a little rally mode, a little rock climbing stuff, some slow speed, some higher speed stuff, and I'm really enjoying it. The suspension heft they've dialed in feels good. You still gotta watch for the rocks because these aren't like KO2s. They're just your average all-terrain tire, but it's definitely better than having like All Seasons or some other crappy tire on here. For 2025, all Ioniq 5s get a rear wiper, which I guess is something owners have been claiming for. Oh, that could be a jump. Which is kind of cool. You just right here, pop the rear wiper, remove all that dust I've just kicked up there.
Another update for all Ioniq 5 models for 2025 is the charging port. This is the first production car outside of Tesla to wear a NACS port, so you can natively charge this at a Tesla supercharger. Thankfully too, Hyundai includes an adapter for CCS charging. And the reasons that's good is that it's actually faster to charge this on a 350 kilowatt DC fast charger compared to a V3 Tesla supercharger for now. Hyundai says it's about 20 minutes for a 10 to 80% charge on a DC fast charger, while that same charge takes 30 minutes on a Tesla V3. Tesla should continue to roll out V4 superchargers though, which is also good news for vehicles that can utilize the added power. Another one coming to the game is the Ioniq network, which aims to build 30,000 chargers by 2030. It's 8 automakers coming together to improve and add to the charging infrastructure. These are lounge-like locations with 400 kilowatt charging units.
I love cars like this. I like the Ford Mach-E Rally. I love the Lamborghini Sterrato. I love the Porsche 911 Dakar, the idea of them. Cars that are made for adventure that aren't full SUVs and trucks. There's something fun about that. And this one is no different. It's got plenty of power. The electric all instant available torque is great. Like I already said, they did a good job of the steering feel. Revised the front and rear fascia, so this does have an improved approach and departure angle compared to the stock version of this car, but that's not like an amazing stat because it's not a good number to begin with, but it's nice that it's better.
Further improvements for 2025 include greater usable battery capacities, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto now across the board. The Digital Key 2 delivers better performance in terms of its range, and there are more USB ports.
I would like to see them push XRT further. It's funny that it stands for Extreme Rugged Terrain. I mean, this is a fire road little rally car all-star. It is not scrambling over trails that you're going to take your Wrangler on. But as it is a blast, and I do really enjoy it. It's fun to drive. The Ioniq 5 in all forms, especially the N version, is fun to drive. And this one is the one I would get if I were shopping, even though there's the range penalty with getting, you know, that flatter front end, the tow hooks, anything that can affect the aero of the car. But it's still a good amount of range. Easily, I turned off traction control. It wants to slide. It's playful. It's fun. The only area where you can feel that it's still an electric vehicle is when you're under braking and the softer stuff, the weight of an EV, not just the i5 XRT, but any EV that you're doing in a situation like this. The weight of it through the soft stuff wants to push a bit further than you might be used to, so you just got to get mentally ready for that. And otherwise, man, this thing's a riot. I'm a big fan. I am a big fan of this thing so far.
For 2025, the i5 starts at $42,500 for the base model. The top spec non-N version is just over $58,000, and the XRT you see here is $55,400. Hyundai gives Ioniq 5 customers a choice between a ChargePoint home charger or $400 of ChargePoint credit when you buy one of these.
No, it's not a Wrangler Rubicon, and no, it doesn't need to be. It's a Hyundai XRT product, and I gotta tell you, it's a lot of fun, especially in the price, the category, what it competes against. I would daily drive the heck out of one of these things and head off on the fire roads into the mountains and enjoy myself. But I do like how up front they do have two recovery hooks that are real recovery points, because if they were fake, you know, RWB style, we'd be talking about them differently. But they look good up there, they're bright and easy to see, they're in a good spot.